Hey everybody, Garcia here. Welcome to part 2 of my Designer's Edition look at the modules that come in this version, this mega box of Alhambra. We already, if you're watching these in order, not correctly, you can do it however you want to, but if you're watching them in order, you've already seen the first 6 I talked about, the expansions, and now I'm going to be showing you another 6. I'm going through these alphabetically, so that's just the way I decided to do it, so that the ranking is not in any sort of correlation. I'm just telling you what the ranking is as each one comes up. So I'll take a look at one and say this one's number 11 out of the 17 for me, and give you an idea of what I think of it, all right? Hopefully, again, this is useful if you're deciding whether you want to grab this very large, very well put together, very expensive edition of the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Gates Without End comes with this wheel here. These tokens they're going to shuffle up and place on the table, and then a few pieces that are utilized by it. The way it works is every time somebody acquires one of the brown buildings or the arcades, they're going to take this top tile as well, put that in front of them, and once they are done adding this tile to their reserve or their Alhambra, they're going to reveal this token here and put it in this and give everyone around the table a bonus based on where the different bonuses around the wheel are pointing. So let's say I'm playing yellow and I'm playing against a player playing green, one playing blue, one playing white. Well, if I do it like this, I am going to, based on what the symbols are here, I am going to draw a money card from the pool immediately. And then once I'm done with that, green is going to get 2 victory points. Blue is going to take one of these half buildings, which counts as a half extra building in whatever color. And then white is going to be allowed to add a wall to one of their tiles, say something like that, okay? But, of course, I might not place it that way. I might instead want the half building, because I'm tied with white and I want to be able to beat them in, let's say, pavilions. So I'm going to take that one, which means green is going to get a free reconstruct action, including, by the way, something they normally cannot do, which is pick one up and move it elsewhere in their Alhambra. Blue is going to get the wall, and white is going to get a free money card. There are also the ability here to swap 2 tiles on the display, so you can change the currency with which they'll be purchased. And some of them will give you 1 victory point. Some of them will give you one of these tiles you can immediately add. None of them have any walls, so they open up your ability to build. There's also, like I said, 1 point, and also this one here lets you buy a tile right now for 14, any kind of currency. So you can combine currencies to do that. And those are all the different combinations. So once you are done with that, you will take the tile you used and remove it from the game. So there you go. That's basically it. This is an interesting expansion. I like it. It's one that makes one of the building types special. I don't normally like that. I didn't like it in the zoo module, and I don't really like it in this one, that aspect of it. But what it does, I do like quite a bit. I think these special powers are neat. They're fairly simple. They work well. They are optional. So if something's pointing at you and you don't want it, you don't take it. But, and it doesn't happen all the time, which is nice, right? It's not every turn you have to deal with something like this. So I enjoy it. I think it's a strong addition. It's not one, again, I would throw in every time. But if I feel like spicing it up and adding a lot of little bits of flavor with a single module, this is a good one for that. Lots of little things, all contained within this one. So thumbs up on it. For the Handyman extension, we're going to give each player a set of Handyman in their color. And we've also got the 3 blue dice in play here. The way this works is every time you begin a turn, you may choose to roll the dice to engage with the Handyman. If you do that, then the only action available to you that turn will be, once you are done rolling dice, taking money. And you may not choose to roll the dice, but normally you will if you are intending to take money anyway. You take a single die and you are going to roll it. After that, you're going to take a look at the value, and if any of the buildings out here, or any of the buildings already built in your Alhambra, match the total, then you may put a handyman token out there or in your Alhambra. If it does not, you may roll another die, or if you simply choose not to. I rolled another one. Now the total is 2. There's nothing that's 2. I'm going to roll another one. And this is 3, and I can do any combination of this. So it would be 3 plus 2 would be 5, or I could do 3, 4, minus 1 is 3 again. If I roll that, for example, I could do 9, I could do 7, I could do 1 with 5 minus 3 minus 1, okay? Any combination of those things. At any point, if I roll, let's say, that's 9, I can put one of these out here on this building, and then later on in the game, once I'm done with that, I'll take my money as usual. Later on in the game, if I want to purchase this tile, I can make the cost higher or lower by 1. By 1 per handyman there, in fact, because I might have multiples there. If I do so, the handyman are removed from the game. Anybody else who has handyman at that spot may choose to leave them there to affect upcoming tiles, or may choose to take them back. Now, like I said, you're also allowed to, instead of putting them out here in the market, you can choose to put them in your Alhambra. And so if I have this in front of me, and I get a combination of one of those two, I get 2, and then I roll this one, that's 5 or 1, and then I roll this one, that's 6, 7, 8, I can choose to put one on that building, but instead I'll flip it to the back, and it'll be a victory point symbol on there. And every time I score, I'm going to score my largest contiguous group of handymen. So if I've got this one here with 1 on there, and I've got this one here with 1 on there, then I'll get another 3 victory points every time we score. That's it. That's how the expansion works. Unfortunately, this is one of my least favorite expansions in the Designer's Edition here. I think it is unbelievably slow. It really grinds the game down to a halt. The rolling feels completely out of place with the combinations of dice. Just to, you're taking 30 seconds to do something that normally would have taken 2. And that certainly adds up over many rounds. And then the payoff simply doesn't seem worth that much effort. You're getting the 1 discount, so or you can add to it to try to get an exact payment. And then putting them out here for victory points is very underwhelming. You're normally going to get a group of, let's say, 5, and that will not be before the first scoring, likely. So it just seems to be an ill-fitting experience, especially with more players where downtime is really going to be a problem. This is not one I would recommend. I've played this with 2 as well. I still wouldn't recommend it. And I just think you should probably not throw this one in. Try it. See if you like the idea. But I found it to be not just underwhelming, but incredibly slow. To set up the major construction projects, we're going to give every player one of these bidding tokens. We are going to shuffle up the major construction projects, and we are going to reveal one, like that one. Now players on their turn have a new action, and that is you may bid for the major construction that is revealed in face up. Obviously, as you can see, it is made up of 2 tiles, and you may bid for it in any one currency, a bid of at least 15. So I might, on my turn, for example, bid 17, and I'll put my token on it. That's my turn. Now it goes around the table, and anybody else may outbid me on that. If they do, this comes back, and they are now the winning bidder with whatever currency they want, higher than this. If it does come back around to me and I'm still winning that, then I'm going to pay that money. I'm going to add this to my Alhambra, and then I take my regular turn. We will also reveal 1 more. So that's basically it. This gives you 2 tiles at once, but you bid for them. This is a really neat idea. I like the way the mechanics are added to the game. The idea of bidding on this double tile is very easy to deal with. I like that you have to take into consideration where these two connected tiles might be placed, and you treat them as one singular tile because, well, you have no other option, of course. I enjoy this. It's very easy to add in. It breaks up the math of the original buildings. There always being 11 of this kind and 10 of this kind and so on. So I enjoy that. And it looks good on the table. It's very simple. It gives you one new action that's quite straightforward to explain. The rest of the tiles here, as you will see, have all sorts of different combinations of both buildings and walls around those buildings. So I like it. It's not revolutionary. I don't think it really shakes up the game very much, but I enjoy this one and would not be opposed to throwing this in and giving all the players one new option they can pursue. To play with the new building grounds, we are going to shuffle up these tiles. I'm going to display 3 below each of these value tokens. We are also going to take these tiles and shuffle them into our standard group of tiles. And when one of these shows up, players can, of course, buy that one. It'll be 10 in whatever currency it is under. And once someone purchases it, then they can add whatever type of building they want to it from the matching column. So if I purchase this, I might want to make that one of the arcades, let's say. And I'm going to cover it up like that. And I now have one more arcades. But of course, to you, you might have purchased that and been competing for the red buildings here and made it one of those buildings. There are 2 of each of the value 10, value 11, value 12, and 13. So these will not all be taken. There will be 1 left in each of the columns. This is a truly brilliant, fun, easy to implement expansion that I very much enjoy. I thought it was just excellent how the tile itself could mean one thing to you and a very different thing to me. And so fighting for that tile implies different things. It's not a one-to-one. You buying a red tile does not mean I now get one for you a red one. I really enjoy that idea. I love the idea of buying it first, then deciding what that tile is. So this is one of my very, very favorite additions to the game. It's simple, but it's straightforward. It's strategic. It lets you wrestle away control of something from someone while letting them, over the very same tile, maybe wrestle something away from someone else. So really clean and enjoyable. To set up the Orchards expansion, we are going to give each player one of these boards randomly, which denotes some of the set collection they're going to be intending to do with the different goods. And I'm going to shuffle up all of the goods here, each one of these showing one type of thing, all right? And these are all different by the way, just so you see they are different combinations. So no player will have the exact same grouping of these different goods. So the way it works is every time a building is added here, we are going to take a random tile and add that tile to the building so that they become a group of 2 things. When one is purchased, that player is going to take both parts of it and a new one will be revealed and a new tile added to it. So let's say I've indeed bought that tile. I am going to take the apple in this case and add it to one of these symbols showing an apple. So let's say I put it there. At the end of the game, I am going to score victory points for every completed group out here. So right now I want to get that pomegranate so that I can complete that, giving me 2 victory points. Because just the apple by itself in that spot will be worth nothing. And as you can see, that's very important for some of the larger groups. So up here, for example, if I get 5 of these 6 tiles, that's worth 0 points to me, as opposed to for just 1 more, I would have gotten 16. Now, any tile you take and you can no longer place, and it has to be that you can no longer place it, say apple there and another apple there, and then I get a further apple tile, you're going to keep that one aside, face down. It itself will be worth 1 victory point. But if you can place it, you must place it, even in a set you're not even going for. So that's pretty much it. This is my favorite of all of the modules, the new modules included with the game. It is extremely easy to add to the game. It's visually quite appealing. I love the way this looks, the set collection. And it gives you a little nudge this way or that way every now and then. It's another parameter that is so in sync with what you are doing in the game anyway that it feels like a natural extension. So my number one expansion from all of the new ones, the orchards right here, just lovely. Lastly, for this video, we're taking a look at the Palace Designers here, and it's one of the smallest modules included. Every player is simply going to get the Palace Designer in their color, and they're going to add it with the feet of the designer touching any one edge on their starting tile there. Now, every time you acquire a tile, if you place it touching where the designer was standing, you are going to score 2 victory points immediately. And if you put it on one of the other 3 edges, you're going to score 1 victory point immediately. So I might do that, and then afterwards you move the designer to the new tile, touching one of those edges. Say the next tile I win is perhaps this one here. I might put that over here. The designer won't move at all. Maybe the next tile I win is this one. Well, it can't go there. So I might put it there, and I get 1 point for that, and then I might move the designer there. And the next tile I win doesn't have anything to do with that one. The next one here can't go there, so maybe I'll put it there, get 1 point, and it has to go there. So you'll see you kind of get locked in a little bit. The way around that, if you need a way around that, is the tile that the character is currently on. If it gets redesigned, then you put this anywhere out here. So if this gets pulled out, that's interesting. The expansion itself, I don't think it's bad. It's a neat little addition. It's going to kick up your score by possibly a solid amount, and extremely easy to implement, of course. It's just not particularly exciting, and we've already seen previous expansions that did similar things. This idea of build in a pattern, build this way, build going in that path. So we've seen things of this nature in previous expansions. This one is probably the cleanest implementation of that idea, and I don't dislike it. I would certainly add it in. I don't see a problem with it. It's just not very exhilarating and won't change up what's going on a whole lot. So that's gonna do it for this group of expansions. This is, again, video 2 out of 3. Make sure you come back for the last one so you can get my final thoughts on the remaining expansions. We've got 5 more to go. We've already looked at 12 of these, 6 in here, 6 in the previous video. Hopefully to help you decide if this is something you might want to look into. So there you go, everybody. Those are the designer expansions. My name is Z Garcia. I'm going to see you on the next one.